Retronerds 252. We're going to jump right into news and reviews today, so let's go right now. Here you go.
First story of today, Don King, special advisor to the president. The Dons, King and Trump, have been friends for decades. Yet it may be a surprise that Trump seeks out King's advice on national matters. Earlier this
Don
week,
King?
no,
Like
no
like
bullshit.
Don King?
Don King. Yes, Don King.
The Don.
Earlier this week, King spoke openly about the relationship, even quoting himself when he was asked by Trump if he should have fired Michael Flynn. King responded, with all due respect, Mr. President, Flynn fired himself.
I have major problems with all this.
Well, at first I thought they were just swapping hair care products and tips, but no, they have been friends, and I believe I didn't read this part, but I believe their friendship probably started back in the day when King was a fight promoter. They did a lot of those
Sure.
fights at the Taj and Trump
True
Palace
that,
and
true
stuff
that.
like that. So he was bringing in a lot of money to the hotel and stuff like that. So
Right.
I can see just assuming that that's the way their relationship began.
So you don't think Trump knew King back when King stomped that guy out and killed him?
No,
Okay.
this was
Probably not.
this was definitely the money grab of the
Oh, yeah.
80s Iron Mike Tyson,
So
and
we
even
should
before that.
we should definitely
Can we
trust
get
these
Mike
two.
involved
Yeah.
now? I mean, like, how about the Rock and Mike
No,
Tyson for the next?
Mike said that if he sees Don King, he will kill him.
Yeah.
Right,
The,
that's what I'm saying. So let's.
oh,
Oh
He needs
shit.
to get involved in politics. That's the whole point.
That's what I'm saying. All right, so that would be a nice trio. Let's talk about this. I'm going to bring the show down with the Chester Bennington news. Unfortunately, frontman for Lincoln Park committed suicide. Law enforcement sources tell us that the singer hanged himself at his private residence in Palos Verdes Estates in LA County. His body was discovered Thursday just before 9 a.m. The singer struggled with drugs and alcohol for years, and he had said in the past he considered committing suicide because he had been abused as a child, as an older by an older male, excuse me. And the band had a string of hits over the years, including Faint, In the End, and Crawling. Lincoln Park crossed music genres, collaborating with Jay-Z. I remember that time. And the band's album, Meteora, is that how you say that? Meteoria? Was one of the biggest alternative albums in music history. Bennington was 41, survived by 6 children.
yes, and I also know that he was also friends with Chris Cornell. And I don't know how much this is probably played into it, but I do know that Chris's wife sent her condolences and stuff like that.
It was
You
his
know,
birthday. He killed himself on
He
Cornell's
killed
birthday.
himself on Chris Cornell's birthday. That's crazy.
yeah, that's crazy. I did not know
That
that.
did seem a little bit odd. If either one of you guys hung yourself, I would feel like shit, but I wouldn't follow. I'm like, I'm gonna do that shit
Yeah,
too. I
I'm
just
saying.
wouldn't.
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
And there's also the whole thing where the Chris Cornell was an accidental suicide.
Right.
Yeah.
Because
You
of
know.
the
Well, and that's the same
prescription
thing too.
drugs
Like,
he
you
was
can't
taking.
imagine that his friend would then do the same dumb shit accidentally. It's like, what
Right.
the hell's going? Is somebody out there just trying to smoke the '90s musicians, or what's the deal? It's the ghost of
Yeah.
Kurt Cobain.
Yeah.
I was gonna.
We
Damn.
we already mentioned before, like it's seriously Courtney Love. Who knew she was going to be the Rock
I know.
and
She's the one
and
surviving
hold
everybody.
strong? Like I'm good, you know.
Well,
No,
it's like Keith Richards. You can't kill her. She's already preserved.
Yeah,
it's like the plot of Ford Fairlane. It could be that.
Mr. Rock and Roll Detective.
There
Yeah,
you go.
Oh,
exactly.
it's the music industry. They're trying to sell more money. These guys are only way they can make money now is they're going on tour. And of course, with all due respect, we realize that Lincoln Park did cancel the upcoming tour.
Yeah.
But
It
the only
seems
way that
appropriate.
musicians can make money in the music business anymore
Is on tour.
is on tour. Is by
You know,
touring.
yeah, that's true. And, they also said that the Lincoln Park guy had recently, not maybe in the last year or so, had sobered up, quit doing drugs, quit drinking, quit doing blah blah blah. And it's like, every time people quit doing these things, that's when the bad stuff. If you're already doing drugs and you're already drinking, just keep doing that shit. Don't increase it.
I'm
Just
I
saying.
keep
that
doing
is not a 252 PSA.
that.
Hey, what was our
It
last
is though,
episode?
because I don't want people to die. I'd rather them be
I,
rested than dead. Come on.
I'm saying.
the
F
last thing
Nancy Reagan. We already said
I
that.
saw or the excuse me, the most recent I just saw was it's a show on Comedy Central called Comedy Jam.
Hmm.
It's where comedians come up, they tell a story, and then they do like this karaoke style
Yeah,
singing their
same.
song that means something to them. And every now and then they'll bring out a special guest.
Right.
So
And he
they
was on
did
there.
that, and he was on there. He came out with
Right on.
this Asian chick. I'm sorry, I forgot her name right now, but she was really funny, cute, everything. And she was doing
Mhm.
her thing, talking about how she was kind of a misfit in school growing up
Right.
and didn't hang out with these people and these people. She was with that kind, and she loved Linkin Park and fell in love with the music, and she was singing the song with all her heart. And then right when that part where it's Chester, he came out and was
Oh
doing his
boy.
thing.
And unbeknownst to her, he came out.
Well, no, pretty sure.
Oh, she didn't know.
Yeah, she
It
knew.
was a
The
surprise to
audience
audience.
didn't know. It was a
Yeah, I
surprise
gotcha.
for the audience.
Right on. That's cool.
But he did it, and it was great. And now swinging over to, depending on who you are, this is either happier news or sadder news.
I don't think anyone's happy about this.
But
maybe
the
two people.
juice is loose. O.J. Simpson had a parole hearing yesterday, and needing only 4 yes votes, he was on early parole from his 9-year prison sentence.
Well, not released yet. He gets released in October.
Well, he gets
but
for the.
he
I'm
gets
saying yes.
released from his
Yeah.
prison sentence. This famed murderer O.J. Simpson.
Hey! Never convicted
Yeah.
on no murder beef. All right. Now fuck this, man. We got to use the law. The letter of the law says glove doesn't fit. The prosecution did not have. And look, we've been making it these last video footage, surveillance. We got helicopters shooting down on people getting murdered, and the other offenders are just getting off.
Yeah.
They're getting
Well,
they're suspended with pay,
and
and they're
that
getting off.
that leads to where I think this might be going, because now they said he's under protection because people in the jail are trying to kill him. I'm like, yeah, the cops. So OJ will be the next black guy killed by the cops. And
Yeah,
there you go.
shit. So far, he's the only black guy this week who's had some good news because we've heard so much about the R. Kelly business.
I don't even know what about the R. Kelly.
Yeah, so like I said, OJ's got the only good news this week. You got Usher giving people herpes. You've not been on the internet much, huh?
No, I didn't know.
Allegedly, Usher gave someone. Yeah, and
Around Mexico. Around
allegedly,
Mexico.
R. Kelly is keeping at his crib. Allegedly, that's been going
Now,
down.
So he's not peeing on him.
if you're in Hollywood or the music, the big ups in like Usher land, just about all of those people have fucking herpes because they all pass it around to
Yeah.
each other and they all take medication and whatever. But as far as R.
Yeah.
Kelly goes, if he's got 5 women in his house, I have a feeling that they're there voluntarily. I don't think he needs to chain
Right.
women up.
Exactly.
Hey, bitches, get on my couch, and they'll be like, okay. You know.
Right.
Well, that is a very liberal approach, and
You've got to watch the footage of one of his so-called detainees coming out and saying, "Hey, I'm here under my own."
yeah.
Oh, they have that as
Yeah.
actual testimony. Well, then yeah.
Yeah,
so what's the
someone,
problem?
her dad came out saying, "R. Kelly, let my daughter go. Let my daughter go." And she came out saying, "Dad, quit tripping. I'm here."
Well, at least that happened because unlike Richard Simmons, nobody has seen hide nor hair of him.
He
He
came
actually
out
came
too.
out.
Yeah. No pun intended.
Richard Simmons come out.
He came out like it was a couple months ago.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, he did.
He poked his head out of the house. He
He's
didn't
like,
come out.
"I'm okay."
Come out.
He
Richard
okay.
Simmons is above that.
We know Richard. We know Rich is alive. We just ain't heard from him in like
Yeah,
a year.
yeah. He's like, I'm
Now
good.
there was because so many people were concerned that there were people like contact they had sent cops over there and stuff. So he made a
Right.
statement and he poked his head out in like a short
Well, I
like a
do know
10,
that
10
there's a
second clip somewhere I saw, and he looks old as shit.
podcast now.
Oh yeah, the
What happened to
what
Richard
happened to
Simmons?
Richard Simmons?
Richard Simmons
Sigil
podcast.
Rimmons,
Well, Richard Simmons has got to be 80 years old, right? I mean, he was kind of an old
probably.
dude when I was a kid. I mean, not old, but he was probably 40 when I was 5 or 6. So
Yeah,
it's got
Yeah,
to be
he's
30
damn
years
near
on
80.
us.
and he
So
still says he's heterosexual. Crazy.
Eh,
he
eh,
said those
whatever.
words.
I like women. Is what he said.
Hey,
Maybe he likes
whether
those.
he
He
does or
likes
doesn't,
those
I don't
big
care.
fat fucking asses. Come on, he's got the
He
signs
likes
to the
those
oldies and shit.
chicks. Those big fat chicks.
Did you know that Lucy Liu was set to direct the first episode of Luke Cage season 2?
I did hear that.
Hmm,
I did hear
not,
that.
I did not know that she was handy behind the camera.
Well, I know that she had
She gave him a handy
directed a
behind the camera.
couple of
See,
episodes of
this is how
Elementary.
rumors get started. You seem like you directed some episodes of Elementary.
Yeah, I believe that's where she cut her directing chops, and now
Right
she's
on.
about to make her way into the MCU and by directing
Nice.
stint on Luke Cage, and it just goes.
Yeah,
I
love
like
it.
the
Love
showing
it.
the diversity, not
Mhm.
only having a woman but an Asian,
Yeah.
different perspective on it. See what she can
I
do.
don't think she gets enough credit because I love her in the movie Payback with Mel Gibson.
Hubba hubba.
Yeah, love that movie. Love her performance in it, and she's great in.
What about the one with Antonio Banderas and Woody Harrelson, where they were the boxing?
Oh, the boxers.
the
What was that called?
I don't know.
I went to the movies to see that crap.
Yeah.
It was terrible.
Lolita Davidovich was the other woman.
Lolita Davidovich.
Jeez.
Wow.
I believe that was who she was. It was a while ago, man, but it
It
was
was
good.
99. Maybe
Did you
90.
It
guys
was the
see
undercard
the
fight that was bad.
see the trailer for the? It's like Will Ferrell and I don't remember who, but like Mel Gibson is one of the dads.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh
Daddy's
yeah,
Home
Daddy's
too.
Home too.
So okay, so that's a second one on top of that. But like
Yes,
I
yes.
never seen the first one, and when
I didn't
and
ever watch it.
who's the other dad?
I
The other-
did. Mark Wahlberg.
Mark Wahlberg. Yeah.
No, it's the other dad. Like there's two dads.
John Lithgow.
Yeah.
Okay. So like watching the trailer, I'm like, okay, this is entertaining or whatever. And then like Mel Gibson walks on screen, and everybody that was laughing just shut the fuck up. Like, are we allowed to
That's
laugh
so
at this guy yet, or are we like what?
Yeah. You know what's funny? I can't remember what movie I took the kids to see. It might have been Spider. No, it wasn't Spider Man. Spider Man
The Spider-Man trailer.
or Despicable Me 3, because I took the kids to go see it, and I saw it, and I giggled, and then I stopped, and I actually had that moment. It's like, how should I be? Because I really look. I was a fan of Mel Gibson back in the day, dude. Fucking Riggs. I
Yeah.
mean, he was the dude. Maverick. I even
Maverick,
liked him
man.
in Maverick,
He was
man.
great.
I really
Looked like you
enjoyed
should.
Mel Gibson. You even talk about the Payback. I like the Payback. He did a lot for 75. I got suits that cost more money than that.
That's
He just
mean,
wanted
man.
his money back. Tirade, and it was like, man, I really want to like you, like Hulk Hogan, man. I still want to like
Yeah.
you, man, but damn.
I think
You
they're
wanted
about to let
get
him
raped
back in
by
the
a
circle too, because they've been starting little hints of Hogan have been popping up again. Like, okay, they're gonna forgive him now. It's been 2 years or whatever. But yeah, I think that's the thing with Mel Gibson. Is like, okay, enough people have forgotten or just don't care that you're good. You can start showing up in movies again.
Yeah.
You can say the N word, you just can't use the N word.
But you know what? It was more about the Jews, though. He went more bad on Jewish
Well,
people
you
than he
know.
did on.
Well,
And it's
that's
hard.
I feel bad about that.
that's a battle
Feel
that
bad
he
about
should not be trying to pick. In his industry, that's not a good plan.
That's very
It
true.
really is.
That's why he was
Yeah.
blacklisted there for so long.
That's why
But
you don't
got
go to
enough
your
money.
boss and tell him fuck you,
Right,
But
exactly that. Yeah.
sugar tits.
He's got F me money, so
Yeah, he did, but it's running low because he got an X and all this other stuff. But
man.
let's
Hey,
do
he's
a.
got $250 million. What's 125 to her? I still got 125 million.
I want to
good.
do a. I want to do a short review. Giant ones. If
Yeah.
enlightening documentary footage and revealing interviews with some of the biggest music kingpins in the business is your thing, then HBO's new docu-series, The Defiant Ones, will be a delicious binge for you and your couch. Chronicling the relationships, both professional and personal, between Jimmy Iovine and Dr. Drain, you will learn things you thought you already knew about.
Hmm.
This is a four-part docu-series. I sat back, I watched the whole thing, and I was actually, again, I really believe that I there was stuff that I thought I knew,
Hmm.
and then it was like, oh man,
Yeah.
you really,
They had some behind the scenes
yeah.
footage.
I mean, the one thing that I never really knew this whole time is the actual personal relationship between Dre and I also learned something that I never knew at all, that there was actually even that type of relationship that he had with Suge Knight. Like he really took Suge under his arm,
You
and
talking about Jimmy or
Jimmy, yeah,
yeah,
Jimmy was
right.
like I'm gonna be your friend. Like I'm trying to
Yeah,
help you, like be a
yeah.
better person. He really had that love in his heart. And when you look at the old footage of a young Jimmy, it's like he's not even recognizable of the guy that like I know. Like
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Because I didn't even get hip to Jimmy until the '90s. And
So you're
he's
talking about '80s Jimmy?
yeah, '70s and '80s.
You don't know Jimmy?
Jimmy,
Yeah,
Jimmy,
I'm
Jimmy,
I'm
Jimmy.
definitely gonna watch that. I've just heard stuff about it and
It's
seen the.
actually very good. If you haven't seen it, I mean, if you're, I mean, I know
I'm
you
a
are a
fan.
fan,
I'm a fan.
and
There's just so much stuff. I mean, it's on
there's
it's
way
on my
there's way too
list of
much
things to
content. I
watch.
do admit there's way too much content out there because I between this and some of the other things like
I sent a screenshot of half of a show that I watched today to Frank of Snowfall. Great series. It's great. Just 3 episodes in. I watched half of the first one. It's good.
it's
It
really
sucks
good.
you in.
I actually got sucked completely in,
I'm saying
and I
a
was
lot of
watching.
man ass.
I was watching like this first the pilot scene. I'm sitting. I got my Dukes on one side and my
Yeah.
wife on the other side, and I was like, that first scene came when the was getting blown
Blown.
and
Yeah.
you know
By two chicks.
chicks
Oh,
The,
and
the
taking
segment where
cocaine
they
out of
get blown. All right, finally.
yeah, it was crazy, and I
finally.
was like, hey, this is like
It's on FX.
it's
It's
on
on
FX. I'm
regular.
like, this is on
They
regular.
show
Oh, like
man
the,
ass. They show female ass.
wow,
I
progressive.
was waiting to see some
But
titties.
I would have to say, I know this is getting a little off track here, but I mean, the majority of the people on there are relative unknowns, and they are
And
doing
they are
great.
great.
They're doing really good work with the material
Listen,
that they're.
the whole time I was watching it, I was thinking that the guy that's playing the Hispanic cartel guy,
Mhm.
um, he should play Freddie Mercury. He looked like Freddie Mercury.
252.
Adonis, pull yourself together.